friends. I hope you guys are having a really great day. It is, let's see, Thursday today, which is hard to believe that the new year is right around the corner, and that's actually the topic of today's talk. And I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet because I have a couple of dogs who are over there looking at me, wondering when dinner is going to be ready. So for those of you who are hopping on, I would love to know that you're here. Leave me a comment or say hello. I'd love to know who I'm talking to today. Makes it a little bit more fun to know I'm not talking to myself. So for those of you who are new to this page and don't know who I am, my name is Jessica Espinoza, and I am an anti-diet, health at every size, heart-centered nutritional therapist and mind-body nutrition coach. And I love to help women just get unstuck around food and body and health so that they can make really grounded, empowered decisions for their health and then ultimately for their life as well. So that is really what lights me up and gets me out of bed every day. So today I want to talk about the new year and actually some personal reflections that I have been having this week. So I've shared on my Instagram and my Facebook stories that I kind of set aside a chunk of time this week to do my 2018 planning. So for me, 2018 is going to be the year that I do things differently. I'm going to be a lot more strategic in how I plan out what I want to do personally and what I want to do professionally. And I want to make sure that I'm very rooted in my why. Like, why do I want to do these improvements to my personal life? Or why do I want to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish for my business? So really getting really in tune with myself and my desires and what it is that's driving me to want to set the goals that I want to set. So I set aside time this week. I got this really cool goal setting planner that I am just loving. But I noticed that it's taking me a lot longer. So this goal setting planner is really cool because it has this whole front section, which is about 30 something pages of just very kind of like heart-centered, intuitive prompts, like lots of questions, lots of things that it's asking me about my why, like having me reflect on the past year, that what things did work and what things didn't work, and having me get really, really clear on the things that really excite me or the things that are really important to me, both personally and professionally. That's one thing I really love about this one is it's allowing me to kind of like blend my personal and my professional life together, because that's really how my life is. Being self-employed and running my own business, my personal life and my professional life, they are all intertwined. There really is not a whole lot of this whole separate work-life balance thing. It just doesn't happen. Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever is sending those. I appreciate it. So I'm loving this planner. But what I'm noticing is that it's kind of taken a lot out of me, kind of mentally and emotionally and energy-wise. I'm really being conscious to spend a lot of time doing the prep work before I actually get to the goal setting and the planning stage, because that's something that I know is so important. It's something that I haven't really done a lot of in the past. So this year I want to do things differently. So I've been doing that this week. I'm almost done with that intro section. And I started feeling myself, yesterday or the day before get super frustrated because it was taking too long. I started thinking, crap, January 1st is just around the corner, it's just a few days away, and I'm going to miss January 1st, and I'm not going to have my entire year planned out by January 1st. And it was all this like January 1st flashing in my face and in my mind. And then I took a step back and I was like, January 1st is just another day. There truly is nothing special or magical or crazy about January 1st. What makes January 1st so important really is the value that we and our society puts on it. Like, January 1st is the day that you're supposed to implement change into your life. And it's the day that you're supposed to step into your New Year's resolutions and do things differently. Like, that's the day. And so many times we really put off all of these changes that we want to implement in our life, whether it be personally or professionally or for our health or whatever. We kind of put it off until the right time. And so for a lot of us, January 1st is the right time because there's so much pressure on January 1st. So I took that step back and I realized that January 1st is just another day. There doesn't have to be all this pressure on having everything done by January 1st, having my entire year mapped out and planned out by January 1st, because life changes. We go through seasons. Things are going to shift. Sometimes things take longer to grow and to cultivate than we expect. And if I don't have stuff done by January 1st, I'm not going to freak out about it. So I wanted to share that with you guys because, interestingly enough, after I started having that realization, I had a discussion with one of my friends who she was also kind of feeling like, oh, like I don't have my planning done for the new year. And I could kind of tell there's maybe a little bit of angst there. And so I reminded her that January 1st was just another day. And then all of a sudden I started seeing in my feed, my social media feed, and in some of the groups that I'm in, people kind of worrying. They're like, January 1st is just a few days away, and I don't have my resolution set, and I don't have my plans laid out and all of this stuff. And there was all this pressure. You could just feel, even though it was online, you could just feel that energy radiating out of these people. There was just all this pressure. Everything has to be done by January 1st. And I just was like, sometimes when you realize something or you recognize something in yourself, it's like all of a sudden you start recognizing it everywhere else. And that's what I was seeing. And so I recognized that it was not just me that was feeling this pressure. This is kind of a universal issue. And so therefore, I think it's kind of important for us to talk about. So, what I wanted to tell you guys today is that if you are, planning for the new year, I am absolutely a huge, huge fan of planning, making sure that you are always trying to improve yourself, but in a very grounded, holistic way. Like, there's a difference between wanting to improve yourself as a person and maybe improve your health or improve your professional growth or improve your personal development or your spiritual relationships or whatever. But there's a difference between that and chasing perfection. So perfection doesn't exist. We can stop chasing perfection. We can get rid of this idea that if we just keep improving ourselves, we're going to get perfect. Totally erase that. So there is no perfection and none of us are ever going to be perfect. But it is really important for us to continue growing, because if we stop growing, we kind of stop living. We kind of stop having the fullest life possible. So I'm a huge fan of growing and transformation and stuff like that, but letting go of the whole perfectionism that kind of drives some of this sometimes. So absolutely, I want you guys to plan for 2018. I want you to set goals and really think about where you want to be this time next year. What kind of things would you want to accomplish in the next 12 months? But I want you to let go of any ideas of perfection. Please don't let your goals be driven by perfection. Let your goals be driven by this really core thing that's coming out of your heart. That's your why. That's the thing that lights you up, the thing that fires you up. That's what should be driving your goal setting and your kind of plan for growth over the next year. So not a huge fan of the whole New Year's resolution thing, because they've actually done lots of statistical studies. 80 to 90% of people who set New Year's resolutions fail on them by February. That's the reason that gyms are completely full on January 1st and they're pretty much empty by the end of January or end of February. So not a huge fan of resolution setting in the traditional sense. Instead, I really want people to cultivate that intentional goal setting, that really deeply core driven purpose. Like things that really fire you up and light you up. So I want to ask you guys today, if you're feeling any stress about the new year, if you're feeling anxious because you haven't set your resolutions, or maybe you're afraid to set resolutions because you're afraid that you're going to fail. If that's even something that comes across your mind, then that's a good indication that whatever that resolution was that you wanted to set is maybe not that intentional. Maybe it's not something that you really need to focus your time on. So let go of the pressure. January 1st is just another day. if you don't have your goals or any kind of planning done for the new year until the end of January, it's totally okay. Just relieve some of that pressure, because we all know that stress kills. Literally, stress damages our body on a cellular level. So anything that is causing you stress, let's take a couple steps back and try to mitigate that stress and reduce that down, because when we reduce that stress, we also get a lot more clear up here. Our brain can function better. We have more clarity. We have less brain fog, to where we can really, really think clearly about what it is that we want. So that is it for today. Just something that I was kind of ruminating on for the last couple of days, and hopefully it was helpful for you guys. I don't know if I'll be back on for a live video before the new year. So for those of you, who are watching either live or on the replay, I hope you guys have a really great and safe New Year's holiday if you celebrate it. And if you don't, then I just hope that 2018 rolls in and it's everything that you want it to be. And I will see you guys again soon. Lots more live videos coming in the new year. That is one of my goals, because I actually am finding that I really love doing them. They kind of fire me up. So I'm super excited to be back and do more of those in the new year. So yes, I'm going to sign off for now. January 1st is just another day. Take the pressure off and just have fun. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.